Alright, what's going on, guys? Trader Kaz here, and I just wanted to record a quick video explaining why I entered this long and kind of what I'm seeing for the foreseeable future with Bitcoin's price action. So if we zoom out a little bit, well, we'll start with the daily. So this is a daily range that I have. You can see we set the low, set the high, swept the low, swept the high, had another deviation here, which led to this down move, and another one here, which led to that pump. We also got a little bit of a bounce at the top of this range on November 15th, where we consolidated for a little bit before ultimately breaking all the way to the mid-range. What I like right now is how well we've been holding this mid-range so far. And we also had this sweep of the low, and we've kind of been pushing up a little bit since. We haven't pushed up too far, but I like the fact that this support is holding and that these wicks are getting bought up. It shows that buyers are at least somewhat interested there. So, yeah, like I was saying in my tweet, if you saw that, I kind of think of this as one of those last resort levels for the bulls. As you can see on the daily time frame, we're right inside of this breaker, or whatever you want to call it. Just draw that out really quick. So we're right in the middle of that, and it's holding up pretty well. So we're sitting on support. This is not where I want to be entering a short. If it bounced up to the range high, then I would consider a short, but right in here, this is not where you want to be shorting. So with that being said, I think that this is one of those like last resort bounce areas for Bitcoin, because I mean, we lose this, let's say we lose this mid-range and the daily order block that's somewhere in there. We lose that, gonna definitely go to the range low, in my opinion. And since we would have essentially retraced this entire move, that would not be bullish at all. And so I think we would just kind of keep bleeding, and I don't know where that would end. Maybe our classic 6K support, who knows? But right now we're kind of in a unique spot where we had this really strong move. I mean, let's see what this was. To that wick, it was about 45%, like $3,300. So that's an enormous move. Ton of buyers were stepping in there, and so this could be the start of a little bit longer, or like a continuation of this trend. But if we retrace this all the way back down, then that won't continue. And I've seen quite a few comparisons with this move right here. Let's see how big that one was. I think that was pretty similar. So that was like 35%. And then it had this slow bleed all the way back down right into this support. And we eventually bounced from that support. I also like that it swept that low right there. Swept that low into support, ended up bouncing. And we're kind of seeing something similar. It's not exactly the same, and I know there are differences in the funding rates right now. Here, I think we're still paying shorts, or exchanges are still paying shorts, and here the funding was positive for longs. So I know there are some differences, but there are also some similarities in the price action. So yeah, we've pulled back like 70% of this move. Like it's not an unhealthy retracement yet. I mean, if it was the most bullish scenario, I guess we probably would have bounced from here and then kept going up. But there's nothing too worrisome about this quite yet. However, if we lose this level, then I would be more worried. So I guess that all kind of ties back into this is one of those levels where, like, if we bounce from here, good, because that was kind of the last good chance. Um, and I'm not saying like we're for sure going to 6K or whatever if we bounce from here. I hope that's not what it sounds like. I'm just saying, like, if this rolls over, maybe we consolidate here for a while, and I don't know what would happen, but we're on strong support. We're holding the mid-range well. We swept the low. And the other thing I wanted to point out, like, in this entire downtrend right here that we've kind of been in since the beginning of November, I guess, because this was just sideways, but this downtrend right here, every time we've had a dump, see dump, consolidate, and we get a bounce, and then it dumps, consolidates. I mean, we kind of, this one only had a little one. This dumps, we had that bounce right there, dump, consolidate, little bounce, and this has just dumped. Now we're getting that consolidation, and so at the very least, I would expect something like this to like 8.3, 8.2. I mean, at like the very lowest, and then maybe that trend just continues, right? And we just keep getting this. And I'm not ruling that out, but the reason, like, I'm okay with the fact that we've been like downtrending and getting these bounces after our consolidation, because that makes me a little more confident in this. And then there's just so much more potential upside, right? Because if I'm entering this trade just expecting like 8.3, right? We consolidate here, we bounce, and then it ends up just going lower, then I made some money. I mean, I would definitely take a good amount of profit there depending on what the price action looks like on the way there. But also, we could easily do this, reclaim that range high, and then start going up. And so that's that kind of potential upside that I'm really excited about with this trade. And I'm sure you could draw some like channel that makes this, add some validity to this or something like that. I mean, just so you kind of get the idea that it's not just going in a straight line, right? So we're bouncing down to the bottom, going to the top, bouncing down here, and the markets just don't just move in straight lines, you know? I mean, this was kind of impressive because that literally was as close as it gets to a straight line. But yeah, I mean, with all that being said, I'm at least expecting somewhat of a rally here or somewhat of a bounce, and then if it keeps going, awesome. It would have been a great entry, and if it doesn't, if we bounce up, get rejected, I'll probably look to enter a short and take this down to the range low. But for now, this is what I'm seeing. Hope this helps, and let me know if you have any questions. Talk to you guys later.